YouTube. Welcome to Telecaster Talk. I bought a new Telecaster and put it on a Facebook page the other day, and there's a lot of people seem to think it's not a telly, or what exactly is a telly. Well, I don't actually have what you could class as the total Telecaster. This is one I made because I didn't have one. Standard telly would be pine bodier. It would have an ashtray bridge, like so. People would argue that a real telly must have only 3 saddles, so there's 2 strings in a saddle, which means that the middle 2 strings don't ever really intonate properly, but that's part of the telly sound, apparently. You'd have a lipstick in the neck position. This one's got a humbucker. You'd have a single coil built into the bridge. This one's got a humbucker. And then you'd have a metal plate with a 3-way switch, a volume and a tone. So this isn't really very much of a telly, but it's the one that looks most like a telly. It's the only one I've got with a scratch plate. So this, I'm arguing, is a telly. My main telly is this here Schecter, which Schecter were a company that actually made Telecaster spare parts, vendor licensed parts like upgrades. You'll notice the bridge is actually a 6 saddle one. This is the same. It was a Schecter bridge that Keith Richards put on his Fenders. So this is quite telly-ish. It's got the pickup built into the bridge, although it's a humbucker, not a thing. It's got the metal plate, volume and a tone, but it's got humbuckers instead of the proper single coils, and doesn't have a scratch plate. This has also got push-pull pots, which split these into single coils. So this does actually do all your Telecaster sounds, and is, I would still argue, a telly. Got a telly headstock on it as well. So that is still a telly, I think. Yes, right. This, bought a couple of weeks ago, isn't a telly, maybe, I don't know. I would still call it a telly. It's a double cut, obviously. It's got a cutaway at the top as well, not just at the bottom. It's also a wee bit bigger than a standard telly. It's got F-holes. You do get telly thin lines, which don't look unlike this. Yeah, this has got P90 pickups and a Tune-o-matic bridge, a set neck, and it does have a sort of almost Telecaster shaped headstock, but this is also Gibson scale, so this is quite an un-telly telly, but I would still argue was a telly. This is the one that was causing a bit of fuss on Facebook, because it's a bit pointier than a telly. It doesn't even have a 6-a-side headstock. It's got like a Gibson angled headstock, and 1 pickup. And all the other things I should mention is tellies are, people argue over whether tellies should be through strung or not, which means it's got a bit on the back with wee metal ferrules to take the backs of the strings. You could argue that was an important part of a Telecaster as well. You know, the strings going through the bridge having the pickup built into it. This doesn't have that. This is basically just telly shaped, but I'm still calling it a telly. Moving on I wish Andy would stop texting me. This kind of looks a bit more like a telly. I made this. This is actually a 6-string bass though, but it's got the ashtray bridge. It's got the single pickup in the middle there in the bridge. It's got a tube in the neck, so it's both single coils. I've altered it a wee bit. It's got a 5-way switch. Incidentally, the 5-way switch you can put in a normal telly is really cool. It's just when you've got the 2 single coils, so it gives you neck pickup of its own, neck pickup but with a tone cap on it, so it's like having the tone on full. This doesn't have a tone, but it's got a tone on there. Middle is both pickups in series. Position 4 is both the pickups in parallel, and position 5 is the bridge pickup alone. You can actually wire that, and you don't even need a particularly fancy switch. You can do it with one of the cheapy import ones to get your telly from 3 sounds into 5. I would do it if I had a telly, but I don't. All mine have all got humbuckers, apart from this one, which is actually a bass. Yep. I'm still not through my telly collection. This telly, oops, dented. This telly is actually a Fender. It says telly on it, but it's acoustic. So, another, yeah, been collecting the tellies, but none of them normal tellies. And the last one, which doesn't sound like a telly at all, is my Washburn Tour 24, which is a telly headstock, but it's only got humbuckers and a Floyd Rose. One of the best Floyd Roses I've ever come across is a Yamaha Floyd Rose. But this one doesn't even coil split, so you can't even get single coil sounds. So where does a telly become a telly, and when is a telly not a telly? And I don't know. I suppose there's a line for everyone. I could see how someone could argue that none of my guitars are true telecasters at all. Whereas, you know, the important things, I really like the metal plate, which isn't on this one. I think it's a cool thing, you know, the control plate. I like that. I'm not that fussed with a single coil pickup. Well, I don't actually have one just now with a single coil pickup in the neck. I always feel it's a weak sound. The sound when you've got both pickups on a normal tele is really good, and then the bridge pickup on its own is really good if you've got a good pickup in there. So I don't, you know, does it really matter what's a tele and what's not a tele? But I'm arguing that all of these are as close to are teles. I've actually got an Ibanez RG530, which is like a. It's not really. I'd still argue it was quite tele-ish. I should probably go and get it, because I don't think anyone would agree with me that was a tele. But it does anything that does the kind of 2 single coil pickups both on at the same time with a Fender scale. Well, this one doesn't, but tends to sound a bit like a tele, I think. So that was a pretty pointless video, but tele. And if you haven't tried a tele and you don't like them, then you're missing something, because teles are probably the best guitars. They're just so easy, especially if you're buying a guitar for your first guitar. There's so little in it to go wrong. As soon as you've got a Strat, you've got, you know, contours, and you've got like the scratch plate with the stuff mounted on it, which is crap. So much better with a tele, with something like this. To get at the electrics, you just take off this plate and everything's on the back of it. It's just like, yeah, it's all earth, because the pickup's got a big metal plate on it, and that's got a big plate on it. And there's no tremolo, which is obviously, if you're learning to play the guitar, and someone tells you to buy one with a Floyd Rose, you really don't want a tremolo at all. Or if you do, if you've got like a Strat or something like that, you take the bar out and then tighten the springs up so it doesn't move. I'm starting to get a wee bit into tremolos these days, but I think that's maybe just from playing for 20 years. I'm getting a bit better. You know, I can actually use it properly. Whereas if you're a beginner and you start using the tremolo, as soon as you just go, that's it out of tune. Unless you're really accurate with how far you bend it and when you bend it and all these things, it just sounds crap. Yeah, so tele. In fact, is it Tuesday? No, it's Wednesday. Tele Wednesday. Well, there you go. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 teles I've got there. 7, if you include the one that I made and still haven't done it. While I'm into this, people wonder, talk about your tone mood. This is just made out of a roofing joist from next door neighbour's garage on a jigsaw, and I just chiselled out the bit to take the neck. It's like a stag neck or something like that. And to be honest, I did it so I could hang it on the wall because I wanted a telly, but it turned out actually to play really well. I've since stolen the bridge from someone else. I've got that bridge off a guy last week. I'm going to put that on there. The tuners were always shit on this, but the thing was, it was still actually at the time I tried it for a band. They were called He Hates Us, something like that, in Glasgow. I was in there for about 3 or 4 weeks, and this was a guitar I took in because I was skint at the time, couldn't afford to put strings in anything else. So I'm sitting there playing a plank of pine, and it's like, you know, it's B&Q pine. I left the barcode on it. It's just rough wood, and I just glued the 2 bits together. But I suppose the way I looked at it, all this bit's all one piece of wood, so that's quite good. So I'm going to actually wire this up. I might actually even just do it this afternoon, get it back in the room, because I really like this guitar. There's something very workmanlike about a telly, and I liked having the BC Rich pick up in the neck as well. Chunky. Rock on. That was just a load of shit really, wasn't it? But hey,